All right, my friends, welcome back. We are back. We're about to get into the spreadsheet phase of the year, winter phase of 487. Talus, are you back? Talus literally got up as I was sitting back down and had to let his dog in, so he should be with us. By the time I get done running my mouth about what he's doing, Talus, are you there?
Diggy diggy dog, diggy diggy dog.
My mom has a new German Shepherd puppy who's taken up digging in the yard.
Oh, that's always a fun thing to deal with.
Yeah, it's less than 4 months old and huge already. I'm scared to see what it looks like at 8.
Oh,
I
God.
feel like she's doubled in size every time I go over.
Yeah, that first year they grow a lot, and then they're like all big ears and big paws, and then like by the time they
Well,
reach the age of 3, they've evened out, as it were.
well, she got her, and when she first got her, she still was full puppy fuzz. She's
Oh
only
yeah.
just started to get her normal fur.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Rodance, I wanted to point out
All right, I'm
that
back.
that
Hmm.
when you were talking about you got fooled by the false spring of North Carolina and you cut your hair, somebody who may or may not be a member of Clan Wolf International messaged me directly and said something to the effect of, "Well, at least you still have hair."
I actually don't.
I think
It
I
my haircut is 2V skin razor on the
ooh
sides and back, and number 2 clipper along the top.
oosh yeah, that's really short.
There may have been hair.
I don't know. Let
Well,
me ask
technically,
Rev.
it's been like 4 day, like 3 days now, so the hair is obviously back.
Oh yeah, let me ask Rev. Does Daishi is he bald?
I
I
am
don't
not
know. I
allowed to
see
answer
Daishi
this
in chat.
question on the grounds that he may blind me with his spotlight as we go.
Does that spotlight reside somewhere roughly the top of his head? Let me stop before Dicey says like "fuck you guys, I'm out" and he stops
I'm
following me.
getting messaged right now. Oh no.
Well, I saw Daishi come online in Discord, so I knew he was about to start commenting to us.
All right, all right, my friends. Obviously, we are back and we're already talking shit amongst each other as we tend to do. So let's get back on track here. Winter phase 487. King Uther is said to be in a better mood as the year draws to a close. He has acquired the promise of a vote from Duke Lindsay in his quest to become High King via the Collegium or the Legate Council or whatever you want to call it. He confers with his nobles and spies to find out more about those reluctant northern lords in Cumbria, and several times he has asked for Sir Dallin back to his hall to tell him again about what was seen in Ibericum. In the Salisbury court, the Earl is simply talking politics, nothing more specific than that. Oh god, Daishi's messaged me too. Now I have to take a look. He's probably mad at me for calling him out. It's a mirror, damn it. The light is from the sun. That's what he said. Uh,
Hey, I feel your pain. My brother is a year and a half younger than me,
oh
and
man.
he's like a good third bald, and I'm a good like quarter gray. So welcome to
Ooh.
the club.
Yep.
Genetics screwed us both.
Yep. That it did. All right. Step one, roll for experience. Any skills, attributes, or excuse me, skills, traits, or passions that have been checked in the previous year. Sir Vitamar, unfortunately, you don't get anything this year. So we'll have to find some way to keep you occupied. You're gonna roll 1d20, and you have to roll higher than your current skill, trait, or passion level.
Okay, so I actually have several personality traits
Yes,
checked.
yes, I
So
believe it.
let's start with cruel.
I've tried to give you guys more opportunities and been a little bit lighter handed when it comes to checking things. So, other than the fact that Sir Farvel died, uh, I think
I lost
everybody should have a few things to
I
check.
lost last session's character sheet, so
It's
I
on
don't
the drive.
So I rolled a 17, and my current cruel stat is 10. So does that mean it
Yep,
goes up and merciful goes down?
correct.
no, I mean I have my current character sheet,
Mm-hmm.
but I did not save or upload the last one of the last session, and I thought I had gotten a couple of check marks across the last two phases.
Let me see what I didn't mark any checks. But let me look
I thought
at.
I had one for something, but and I lost a point of honor.
So I rolled a nat 20 for my modest,
Yes. So modesty
so,
goes up and pride goes down.
and now I have to roll a check for pride because I had both checked.
I thought that was a.
Did I
I'm
check
getting
both? I
confused.
feel like that's something I would have done as a smartass.
I thought
Yes.
modesty. I thought isn't that a fumble on modesty, or is that the other way around?
It doesn't matter in this case because you're simply
no
trying to roll
fumbles.
higher than the
Yeah.
number
Oh, okay.
of whatever the skill, trait, or passion is.
And it balances back out. So
Yep.
modesty goes back down, pride
I don't
goes
have
back
anything
up.
to roll for. This is just them.
Yeah, the
updating
only
their
thing
checks,
you
yeah.
get out of this for Vitamar is when we get to like the economic situation, and you'll get a little bit of glory out of that, but that's about it. You're not going to get a whole lot, unfortunately. Vitamar
He
up
doesn't
until
get-
this Vitamar up until this point has just simply been a house knight waiting for someone to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Rev, I wish I could tell you what to roll for, but I don't. Like I'm not.
Yeah, I know. It's my bad.
Yeah.
We'll
Courtesy.
we'll chalk it up to
Um.
any check marks I lost. We'll chalk it up to the aftermath of the battle.
Yeah. I think it would be safe to say that you probably have sword. Let me think for a second. You probably at some point would have had to check sword.
I don't know. I would have been excited if I got a check on sword. I didn't. If any, because I was using my axe the most time. If anything, I would have had a check on axe.
Okay, well then you can definitely roll axe. I'll allow that because I know you definitely had, especially with
So-
fighting all the Saxons, you definitely had the chance to do that.
If I have a 10 and I roll a 10, does it stay the same or go up?
It stays the same. You have to roll higher.
Okay. Too bad. I would have wanted that extra point of intrigue.
I know. Let me look at this character sheet and see if I can think of any others that you might have had.
Well, it's definitely not higher.
You can roll for Hatred of Saxons to see if it goes up. You'll need a 20 to hit, or to increase it. I
Okay.
mean, I feel like that's definitely prudent given your natural hatred plus the things that have happened. Axe.
Oh, so close.
Let's see what else.
No,
Okay.
I think I was just blasted enough by what happened last session. I just forgot to save an update like I normally would.
Yeah, you have suspicious checked on the copy that I have. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I may have misclicked or something like that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh. I did have suspicious check. That is one thing that's checked. I missed that check.
Okay.
Is that a check mark or is that just a mark on my screen?
No, that's,
I also have
oh.
a check. I also have a check mark on orate.
I feel because at some point, like during the feast, didn't you tell the tale of
Yeah,
Excalibur or something like that? I
Oh no,
forget.
I hammed up how well we did at the battle against the Saxons.
Oh
to
yeah,
try
yeah,
and-
yeah. The Battle of Mercury Creek because you were trying to prove a point or sell something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forget exactly what you were doing, but yeah, I do remember you
So-
making a big speech of some sort.
So this first one's gonna be for suspicious. Now, if I fail, does it go down?
No,
My
no,
suspicious-
it's just a check to see if it goes up.
Okay, and then this next one will be for my orate. Whoops.
Yeah, you
Wrong
gotta
thing.
get that little dot to pop up. That looks like a
Nope.
fail.
Yep.
Okay. Is it,
All
I'm,
All fails on the home front.
I'll give you recognize just because I know you failed the roll during the session last week or the last session, but I'll go ahead and give you a check for that just because of the potential importance of it. Recognizing the Thane.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
you get recognized to go up from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Is that what that 17 was for?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Is everybody done with that particular stage? I feel like-
I rolled nothing.
Yeah, I know. Shush.
Yeah, I think we're done with that stage. The
Okay.
check mark stage.
All right. Step 2: add one age, or goddamn, add 1 year to your character's age, your squire, and all family members and horses. If
Oh.
you're, go ahead.
I had a check mark on love of family.
That scans. Go ahead and roll that.
I missed that one.
I feel like at some point you would have rolled a passion for that. And that did not go up.
Hooray.
Okay. All right. So yeah, add one here to your character, your squire, family members, and horses. If you're using the spreadsheets that I shared with you guys, all you have to do on the family tab is just change the current year from 487 to 488, and everybody's age will automatically update.
Sorry. Where is this?
On the spreadsheet that I shared with everybody,
On the PC, not PC.
I think I put it in the character sheets go here folder. There's a spreadsheet for each of you.
Okay. What? Sorry, you threw me. Spreadsheet.
Yes, there's a spreadsheet. It'll have your character and it'll have family trackers. So like Farville family tracker, Everhart family tracker. If you
Okay.
go to the family tab and up at the top left, it'll say current year and then the number. If you change it from 487 to 488, it will automatically update everybody's age.
Okay. So this
Mm,
is in your shared docs.
Yes. And it should be in the character sheets go here folder.
I just got to get the right because I had it bookmarked in a different browser, so I
Gotcha.
forgot that and I clicked on the wrong thing.
But otherwise, add 1 year. And then the only one that has to worry about the aging effect
me.
is Sir Vitamar, and that's on page 129 of the book. So let me open that up real fast. Vitamar, which you're gonna start with a 2d6, but let me get to that page first.
Hold on. I am trying to look for the year. Where do we put this year? Oh, top.
You- At the top
1C?
left. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
488, right?
Yep. You're gonna put in 488. I know we're doing the winter phase of 487, but it's about to be 488. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, my Farville son is now 2. Okay.
Yep. And then you're gonna roll 2d6.
Oh, her name's Adwin, not Arwen.
Yeah, I saw that too. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh no, I sent a message to the wrong person.
Oh dear. Did you roll your 2d6 yet, there, boy?
No, hold on.
So I went to family
Nine.
trees, and I feel like I'm in the wrong place.
Okay, hold on. Let me get. Oh, I closed that browser. Damn it. Give me 1 second. I
Are
feel
there
like
different pages that I'm just not seeing?
Yeah, I'm opening it up right now just so I can follow along.
Okay, I see it. I see it. I see what's going on.
You got the.
So someone had messaged me, and my tool taskbar had covered up the different chapter headings.
Come on. Come on, computer. Do the thing. Do the computer thing. There we go. We're getting there. Yeah, you go in the character sheets, go here, folder, and then you'll see your family tracker.
Okay,
Talis,
so I see.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking at like family tree, or except it's just my character and their ancestor and a shield placeholder. Is that the right place?
No, you're in the wrong spot.
Okay.
So if you go into the Pendragon campaign shares, and then there's a folder at the very top, or should be at the top, where it says character sheets go here. And you open that up, and then it'll have the Everhart family tracker.
Okay. So I was looking at family trees, XLS. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that was my very first attempt at making a family tree, and I was going to use Excel to do it. But it would not have looked as good as I wanted it to, so I went with something
Oh yeah,
else.
this looks better. And so I just update the current year, and it's set to tabulate everything. Nice.
Yep. Just put in 488, and everybody's year
Formulas.
should automatically go up one. Talis, you rolled a 9 on your aging effect, so that means you have 1 attribute that is affected. I now need you to roll 1d6 for me.
Oh no.
And whatever this attribute is, it will be reduced by 1 point. You rolled a 2. Your dexterity takes a hit. Your bones, your bones and your muscles are slowly getting weaker, and you become more and more stiff. So make sure you update your dexterity and anything else that is affected by that.
Dexterity goes down by 1.
So like your derived thingies.
Yeah,
may,
I know. Strength.
And then
con,
before we
save,
move to the
dex.
next point, I need to respond to a message.
You've got mail.
Well, my younger son wants me to play Fortnite, and I'm not in a position where I can do that right now.
I'm down. Let's switch the stream.
He'd love that.
Nah, so my move rate is still the same. It only affects my move rate.
Okay.
And it would be. You round up to the closest number, right? If it's above 0.5.
Yeah, if it's 0.5 and up, you go up. If it's 0.4
Then
and down, you
I'm
go
good
down.
still. Nothing really changed.
Okay. All right. Now we check for economic circumstances. For the year 487, the base starting weather is 10. Peasants appear to be in something of a better mood as compared to previous years, probably due to recent raid successes, Duke Lindsay returning to the fold, and the presentation of Excalibur. The common folk may even be hopeful. You can't have hopeful common folk, though. So I will be rolling against a 10 for the bad weather. You guys will be rolling against your stewardship skills for each of your individual manners. For Everhart, I believe you only have one manner, so you just have one roll. So let me roll mine. I rolled a failure. So what will happen is, for your original hometown, Pitton, I forget the others, Winterborn Gunnet and Rodances. I can't think of off the top of my head. Stapleford or something like that. Those you guys will be rolling against. For all of them, they're basically stewardship rolls. But for your 3 hometown ones, they will be against the 10 that I just failed. So go ahead and let's do it this way. Go ahead and roll for Winterborn Gunnet, Pitton, and I believe it's Stapleford. Roll those.
Yes.
Roll those against I believe it's your wives. Or in Vitamar's case. With Vitamar, is he going to be keeping Adwin as the steward for the time being?
Yeah.
Alright, Rodance rolled a 9. I believe that's a success.
So it needs to be less than my wife's
Yeah.
In order to
stewardship
Yeah.
score?
Yep.
Yes, she has that.
Okay. So Rose succeeded.
I think I'm
Everhart,
good.
I'm going to assume that Everhart failed, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
failed, but I'm reroll tokening it.
Okay, where'd it go? I see it.
Yeah, my wife has a
Oh,
stewardship
what?
of 15.
You got worse. Okay, you also. So Rev also failed. And what did you say, Rodance?
Yeah, my wife has a stewardship of 15, so I definitely passed with a 9.
Okay. And then Talus, I don't remember what Adwin's stewardship role is.
Oh shit, that's right.
Or
I had it on one of my notes. Hold on.
It should. I think it's in the tracker.
So when
I don't. Did you put it on the tracker?
so when I need
No,
when
I
need
didn't. Shit.
Oh
When
no,
I-
I'm fine. Her stewardship's 17.
Is it?
But we should. Yeah, it's 17 because you had me roll for it.
Okay. All right, so you succeeded. All right.
when I need low rolls, I get high. When I need high rolls, I
Yeah.
get low.
Okay, so here's how this works. So I failed, which means Sir Dallin and Sir Vitamar, you guys are living richly. And Sir Everhart, you are living normally. So what that means is you guys get your 10 Librum. For Sir Dallin and Sir Vitamar, you guys have some bonuses on your upcoming survival rolls. Or conversely, you guys can spend money and live. All 3 of you can spend money and live higher, but it will take away from your 10 Librum that you've just picked up.
Okay, so I should have 18 Librum now then. All right.
Also, before we go to that step, what
Oh,
you'll
I
do.
also had one
Hold on.
Vitamar.
What?
Not that I had a lot, just half a Librum.
Yeah.
Remind me how much I would have to spend to get above. I've forgotten. I'm sorry. What are the tiers of spending to get to higher
You need to spend 4 Libram to move from one level to the next higher level.
Okay.
At normal, you have no penalties, but you also have no bonuses. So if you want to move
Right.
up to rich, where you do get some bonuses, then you have to pay 4. If you want to move up to superlative, it's 8. And if you want to move up to spectacular, then you have to pay 12.
I think 4 Libram is worth it to ensure my lands do well.
Okay. Go ahead and deduct that 4, and then mark that you are living richly.
Okay.
And so now all 3 of you are living at richly, or does anybody else want to spend some money and move up to the next social strata?
Nah, I'm okay.
Richly is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually doing well for us, quite well.
Yeah.
So
And if you
based
could,
on the descriptions, it's generous for what we have.
yeah, it is. It's actually pretty good. I mean, rich is not bad. Child survivor rolls receive a +1. Childbirth rolls receive a +3. When you get to superlative, that's when your horse survival rolls are increased as well. So, but yeah, you're good there. Just make sure you guys are accounting your money appropriately. Before we move to the next step, those of you that have additional manners, all you're going to do is you're going to roll against the assigned steward skill. On a success, you receive 1 Libram. On a critical success, you receive 2. If you fail, none. And if you fumble, you actually have to pay 1 from somewhere in order to keep that
what
manner.
is a critical success?
So,
Again.
for instance,
If you hit their
you have the
max,
exact
so,
number.
like, yeah.
And so if you have a skill of
Okay.
14, you roll a critical on a 14. And if you have a skill of 19 or less and you roll a 20, it is a fumble.
Okay.
And I have the spreadsheets open.
Conferred.
But go ahead. So yeah, you're just going to roll 1 at a time. If it's a success, you add 1. If it's a fail, it's none. So that would be
okay, so what castle am I rolling first?
either anyone. Use your family tracker spreadsheet that I gave you.
I think
So I rolled a number well above stewardship roll. That's a fail, right?
Correct. So an all failure is you just don't receive any. Basically, that land produces just enough to break even. There's not enough to give you extra money. Like they pay all their narratively they pay all their taxes and stuff like that. It's just there's no extra money to go into your family's coffers. What were you saying, Talis?
So I know that we rolled for my hometown, right?
Uh-huh.
But the manors and stuff that I own, I don't know if we rolled any stewardship.
So for your family, I have
And if
I have
also
I have
looking at the
skills.
family track, and I don't see the.
Let me interrupt for just a second. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna step away from my headset before. So if I'm not back, just check with me if I'm back before we go on to the next step.
Yep, gotcha. All right, so for you, Talis, before you, let me address that fumble I just saw. So,
I rolled?
no, not you.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Rodance rolled a 20 on one of her stewardship rolls.
Well, what's funny is I fumbled and then I critted the next one.
Okay, so that actually would balance out. So you still receive a total of 2 from those 2. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does.
Hey,
It breaks out.
I got my math down. I'm good.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure you followed that. Okay.
I'm rolling my last one now.
Okay. And that looks like a success.
Yes.
Okay. So you got 1 for each of your additional manners, it looks like. Maybe not.
No.
Okay. No, because you had that 16 in there. Okay. All right, Talis.
Yeah.
What was Lady Adwin's stewardship? You said it was a 17?
It was 17, yeah.
All right,
Or at least that's what I have here. I don't know.
No, I'll roll with that. I remember
but
I remember some of the stewardships were a little bit higher than normal.
yeah, most of them were. They were mostly over 10, as I recall. Most of them,
Yeah.
11 or higher.
Okay, so Bridget is managing upshoot. She has a 12. You want to roll that now?
Yeah, let me do that.
Fail. But
Damn,
fail
I
is not
won.
bad. Fail is not bad. It's fumble when you lose money.
Yeah.
Bid is done.
This was the person Farvel hired, right?
Yeah, that was the girl that originally came to you wanting to talk about Lansing. And she ended up becoming a kind of a steward, like unofficially, like officially she's a steward, but unofficially she's not, or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Bitizend is the one that Sir Vitamar was originally managing. I have him with a 14.
Okay, I'll just
But
roll that then.
yeah,
No, yeah, I guess. All right.
go ahead. That's a success. Tidworth has a 10. Fail. Kimpton. Osgood is actually running this one at 15. Success. Bodenham is a 15. That is a fumble, minus
You
1.
can take a reroll token from me.
Oh, I could take it from you? I'm going to take it
Yeah.
from you. I'll take all your reroll tokens. That is a success. And then Fault is a 13. That is a success. All right, so make sure, so it's 1 for every success, 0 for a failure.
Fuck. We had 2 failures, right?
I was not counting. I was leaving that up to you.
God damn it.
Come on, it's your character.
I was trying to focus. Hold on.
Well, you got a little bit more to manage, and I've got the
Yeah.
entire game to manage. What
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
doing
yeah.
with that drawer?
Did I do that?
I feel like, and the funny part is, as soon as I said something, that I saw that red hand just like scoot out of the way. There you go. You found
I
it.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I think everybody is good to go. We can move on to the next step, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
only had
Yes,
2
I have
failures.
my Libra from my manners. To help
All right,
calculate, Yes.
how much did you end up with for the year?
I have 2 from last year, 13 from my manners, 2 from the King's Treasure, and 2 from the Ransom of the Saxon.
And that puts you
For a total of 19 Libra at the end of
Nice.
winter phase, assuming there's not any other adjustments.
No, I don't think there is.
I'm gonna have to buy new clothes this year.
Yes, for the feast specifically. And then Talus, what did you end up with for the year?
23.5.
Yes, because you had like 100 and something denarii or some shit.
Yeah, whatever the
when
lower
we rolled up,
currency is.
Whenever we
from-
rolled up Vitamar, he ended up with like over 100, like 120 or 140 denarii.
Yeah.
And then Sir Everhart, how much money did you collect? I think you netted 6, correct? Because you had the normal and you moved up to rich.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how much money did you have left over from previous years?
Well, I would have netted 6, but because I spent 4, but I also spent 2 additional on the funeral.
Yes. Good call. That actually makes, I would imagine dropping 2 bones on the funeral would have made it a very, not festive per se, but definitely plenty of food and drinks to welcome guests and whatnot, and make the funeral a more pleasant experience. Okay, the next step is making stable rolls. You're going to roll a 1d20 for each of your horses. I don't think anybody has hit the 7-year mark yet. So
No, we've all had the same
Yeah.
horses effectively.
Yeah,
so.
I have no specialty horses, so at this point, I would just, even if one of them died, they'd just be auto replaced. I don't really see the point of rolling.
yeah, technically they would be. I think I was going to make you guys pay for them too. But I know in the book, the core book, it says the Earl will replace your horses.
Yeah, the Charger, 2 Roundseas, and a Sumter. If we have anything other than that, which I believe
I
Farvel
have-
had one.
Yeah,
I
he's
have-
got
I
that
have a-
courser. Yeah.
Courser.
Yeah, he would have to manage the courser life rolls and the age and such.
That
But
makes
for
sense.
the rest of us who just have the standard Charger, Roundseas, Sumter, we do not.
Yeah, I can live with that. Go ahead and roll for your courser. You need to roll a 3 or better. You're living richly, so that does not give you any benefit to your horse rolls.
What did I have to roll for? Wow, what did I need to roll below?
You
You-
need to
you
roll a
succeeded.
3 or better. Did you just roll that
3 or
12?
better. Yeah, I just rolled that 12.
Okay. All right. Yeah, your courser lives. And now we get to family rolls, and these get a little bit trickier. But first, Let's talk to our current eligible bachelor, Sir Vitamar.
Yeah.
What are your marriage plans or intentions, or do you not have any for this year?
He didn't really have any for this year, considering he just lost family. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to, in speaking with the Earl, now that you are in a social position in order to do so, would
Mhm.
you like to speak with the Earl and take a what is it? Would you like to make a courtesy roll to announce your intentions to become married by the end of the next year, or perhaps later, and basically put your name in the running for becoming the next no longer eligible bachelor?
Hold on, I need to take a look at my family tree before I decide to respond.
My family's trunk.
After the game, remind me to tell you about the heist on the Clinton estate that my D&D game just pulled over this last weekend.
This sounds almost entertaining enough to leave it in the stream.
Um,
Now that you bring it up like that, way to sell it. Yes, my son.
Yeah, I guess I'll. No. He doesn't plan to get married next year either.
Okay. So you don't want to make any courtesy rolls to see if you can attempt to start catching the eye of anybody?
I
Because
mean,
if
I
you
guess
recall, let me throw this at you first, just before you make your final decision. One of the options is you can marry within your class, which basically equates to each year you roll courtesy. Uh, if you succeed on the courtesy roll, you get a +1 bonus to rolling on the random wife table. Basically, is what it is. You don't, just because you get that success or you make that courtesy roll doesn't mean you have to make that random wife roll. You could wait an additional year or several years if you want and just try to rack up that +1 bonus, because that +1 bonus will give you a better stationed wife. I will also want to point out that you are 47. You are not, theoretically, there's not much left in this world for you. Specifically, you're not going to be in this world much longer, effectively. So, getting married, not getting married, it's ultimately your choice. You are not in a social position where you need to produce an heir, but the idea of having additional younglings about in case something were to happen to young Farwin may not be lost on you. Also, not final, but an additional reminder before moving on that Sir Vitamar was, up until just a few days ago or weeks ago or what have you, was just a regular old house knight, and suddenly he has all this responsibility and power, and he may not want to give it up. He may want to pass it to his own future children. These are all things that you need to look at before you give the final answer. But I'll take your final answer.
He'll consult the Lord, or the Earl, not the Lord. And effectively say that he would like to get married, but he's not looking at having kids for a few more years.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a courtesy roll.
What is my courtesy?
I don't know.
That's
Probably like 3 or something.
Courtesy.
You just rolled a 4 for some reason, by the way.
It's a 10. Why did I increase my courtesy to 10? Oh, whatever.
I may have suggested it. I don't remember. All right, but you got a success.
In any
So,
case, it's 10.
yep. So I need you to make note, in a place that you're not going to lose it, that when it comes time to make your random wife roll, you currently have a +1 bonus to said random wife table.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wife roll?
Yeah.
Alright.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, now for the second part of this step. This is the one where I have to
It's
kind of...
specifically table 5.4 random marriage.
Yes.
If you just write +1 to table 5.4, we should be able to figure that out next time it comes up.
Yep. All right, this next part is going to be a little tricky, so I'm going to go one family at a time, starting with because I already have him opened up in front of me. Sir Sir Vitamar.
Corvo's still hunting us, guys.
Yeah, I feel like that's totally appropriate for the player of said character. Okay, you have no new children because you're currently not married, and I haven't rolled. Jesus Christ. Family events yet. So, for your 1 to 15-year-old children, let me update
This
this.
is only one, I think.
Nope, you have a few.
Oh, do I really?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this age
5.
range.
Oh, because of my cousins. Okay.
Yep. So I need you to roll 5d20, and if any of them are a 1 or a 2, we will have to figure out which one just died. And they all survived.
Hey.
All right, so for your next group, this is females 16 to 45. You have 3. These are Lady Adwin, Bridget, and an aunt named Aylwin. She's the one married to Sir Eric, or whatever. I need you to roll 3d20. You rolled them 7, 9, and 13. And they are all good.
Yay.
Now, for all of your male... I have a female in here. How did that happen?
Was it a mistake?
Yes, it is.
That's not the first time you've said that.
That's not... not... Hold on. Give me just a second here. 27. No, what I want is... I vaguely recall having to do something like this recently, or previously, and mucking this all up. No, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. Why are you being difficult? Oh my god. Okay, hold on a second. Cut that, and I want to paste it in... no. Okay, I know what I need to do. Jesus Christ. And then rejoin those.
When we were leveling our characters, I don't remember getting to pick the one attribute or points to the other thing when we were leveling up then.
We haven't gotten to that stage yet.
Correct.
Okay, sorry.
I believe that's
literally
actually...
the last thing you do.
it's-
We're doing the number crunchies still.
Okay, I just was
Uh,
like, well, we'd already finished with the check marks and the other stuff with the character sheet itself, and so I was thinking, did we?
Nah, the order's just kind of funky. I personally wouldn't have done them in that order either, but that's what's in the book.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, that's not the way the order that we did them in before.
Oh my god, stop it.
No.
There we go. Okay. Give me one more d20 roll for me, please, Talis. Now that I finally fixed your
1d20?
spreadsheet.
Wrong thing.
A 9. That means you're good. All right. Now, for your male family members aged 16 to 45, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need a 9d20, please.
Oh my god.
All right, 2,
Oh, no.
3, 4. Oh no, they're all safe.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep. For this particular age group, it is on a 1 you have to re-roll, and then a 2+, they're safe. Also,
Why do they have to reroll
oh
with
shit, hold
one?
on. It's the way the rules are, and I totally forgot that your survival rolls actually have a plus something, so we don't even have to do this for you. Because
Oh.
you're living richly, which gives a plus. Well, it's child survival rolls, not family survival rolls.
Family.
Okay. All right, I got it. All right, The last group is 46 to 65. You have 3. So yeah, give me 3d20, please. They are all good.
Yay.
Because you needed to roll anything higher than a 5 or higher. Or 2, or whatever. Okay, I also need, before I forget, I need to take... Actually, I think I did take him out, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Alright, next up is Sir Dallin.
Yay!
And this will be relatively quick, because you don't have very many people.
Actually, I have a good chunk now that I have to manage my wife's nights.
Oh, you know what? I don't have Bronwyn and... I can't remember the other guy's name. Amlin. I don't have them on here.
Well, that's
Do you have
because
them?
you're not looking at the version I am.
I was just gonna say, if you have yours uploaded, I'll download yours later.
Yeah, you want to use mine because mine is accounting for all of my family members.
But if you, that means you have the roll chart
Well,
on there
yes,
as well.
I do.
So if you could do that for me real quick, and then I can.
Yep, so technically I don't have a newborn, and I only have one small child, so small
And
child
you also have a
first.
+3 for children, which is the 1 to 15. I want to say it's +3 for children.
Okay, so. Well, shit.
Uh-oh. 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 You got a 1. Who is that for?
My son.
Jovel?
Yeah, totally dead.
No, you have a reroll. Not the token. Okay, so your son is now age 2, which puts him
Yep.
in the 1 to 15-year-old. On a
Oh,
1,
that's
you
right.
reroll.
He's not a newborn.
Yep, on a reroll,
Yeah.
you
so
now
I
have to
need
roll a 6 or
reroll
higher.
6 or higher to have him not to pass away. Fuck.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yes, he's alive.
He's fine. we almost had some family drama there.
Okay, so the next chunk is my 46 to 65-year-olds, which are Indag House Knight, and wife of House Knight. So they are my
Indag is
peeps sitting
44.
I'm reading straight down from my list. I'm not reading in the order you are.
Okay, all right, do what you do.
So
I'm gonna
that's
have to.
2 of them.
I'm gonna have to download
46 roll.
your copy.
That's not good. Let me see what a 3 is.
What's the age group? Oh, 3 should be
yeah,
fine.
a 2 plus is safe. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in. Can my squire technically get pregnant?
That's a good question.
I have a female squire.
Yes.
I have a female sister, and my wife are all technically in the age group where they might become pregnant.
Yeah.
I have to roll them in order. I can't roll them in bulk because of this. So.
Okay. I'll
starting
put it.
with my sister.
Let's look at it this way before you roll. I would look at, would Sir Dallin tell her not to have sex, and would your squire listen to that order?
Lustful is a religious trait.
That's right.
I don't particularly see anything wrong with her enjoying it, but I did warn her that
if she gets
pregnant
pregnant,
females generally retire from being squires.
Yeah, because they have to go do that whole take care of the kid thing. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll start with my wife and then my sister.
Yeah.
Actually, sister is the first in order. So sister first.
Did I miss something about pregnancy rules?
Yeah.
He randomized the fact that I have a female squire.
Yep. And also for the female, 16.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, another 1. Oh, who is that? That's your sister?
My sister.
Karrison?
Yeah.
It's another reroll.
11 plus safe.
Yeah. Oof. Oh no. You have reroll tokens as well, so.
I hope Harrison doesn't go up in flames.
Oh my God!
Hey,
Stop
hey,
it, Rev.
hey, hey! I'm gonna toss a reroll token because I'd like my sister to have a baby.
Okay. Is that the one that's sitting right there? Yep.
Yeah. Okay, a 9. She survives.
She
Not
survives.
pregnant, but
No
survives.
babies, but she survives. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
who's
Okay,
next?
so you re-roll
This
the
next
one, not
roll is my wife.
Okay. What you got?
a 1.
Shut up, Rev.
Oh no, she's pregnant.
Yeah, 14 plus is a birth.
Okay.
Roll 1d6. Even boy, odd girl.
Okay.
I suppose you could roll the 20. It doesn't matter because it's still evens and odds. And
I
that
get
is a
another
son.
boy.
Yep.
Yes.
Make sure you put the boy's name in there, and you now have to roll survival for the infant. But it's at a +3, so don't even bother. Because on a 3+, they're safe. And you're living richly. So the boy's good. Who's next?
Give me a minute. I'm still typing. I have to add him as an entry.
Yep. You got a name for him?
Can I recommend a name? It's a joke.
Would it be creepy if I named him after my recently departed friend?
Farvel? Yeah.
I mean, I was actually thinking something like that, but I didn't really want to bring it up.
How am I gonna name my kid Farvel if you name yours that?
Well, one could. So,
Oh, boy.
here's what happens. So, this is something that actually happens a lot in the era. So, this Farvel would become known later as Farvel the Elder when Farvel the Younger is born.
Let me just pull up
Just
my,
throwing it out there. See, I'm gonna have some family trees to update this weekend.
You won't have to update mine.
Yeah,
Give
actually,
me
I
a
think I
moment,
do because I
I'm
gotta
looking
update
in
Farvel's
my,
dad.
Okay, male name.
Other than the fact that Farvel died.
Yeah, I still gotta do that as well.
Actually, tell us, what is Farvel's dad's name?
It was Faramund, wasn't it?
I want to say that sounds about right. Hold
Or
on.
was that the grandfather?
Yeah, it was one of the two because I had Far. I don't know. They all start with Far.
Yeah.
Blaine. His name is Blaine.
There you go. Sir
I pulled up
Blaine.
my Arthurian name generator.
There you go. All right, who you got next? I think your
Yeah,
wife.
it's
Do I
Farmund.
need to roll a survival roll for this one?
Yes, but it's automatically going to succeed because you're living richly, and the +3 that goes on
Okay,
it.
so that was Indag, and then
Your squire, I believe.
I'm gonna roll over under if the squire was dumb. So
Okay.
if she rolls above an 11, she did indeed have sex, and then we have to roll. Then so
No, that makes sense. I got you. I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, so
11. Is that her lustful trait?
okay, so no, she did not indulge in the lustfulness. So
Okay.
if she hits the birth on the chart, she's just going to be safe, not pregnant.
I can live with that.
Okay, because she would have started with a lustful 13, like I did, because
Yeah.
she's of the same faith,
Yeah. Gotcha.
and she.
Unless,
got
well,
the-
actually, when a character's
shoot.
created, she could have chosen lustful as her known for trait and started lustful at 16, or
I don't
indulgence, or
think
whatever
she
it is.
did. I don't remember.
I'm just
what
saying
her
she
stat-
could
I don't think
have.
she has a stat block like that.
No, not yet.
So yeah, a 4 is no. She kept it in her pants. So let's roll her survival check.
On the field, the bikini chainmail.
I mean, she rolled a 19, so I'm glad she kept it in her pants.
Yeah, that would have been a child had she not been abstinent.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm into my male relative contingent. Do I need to? I'm rolling to see if my steward, who fucking fumbled this last year too, because if he dies, I am not going to be heartbroken.
Yeah,
So,
go for it.
Starting with the house knights. First one. Good. Second one. Good. Third one. Also good. Fourth one.
This is male 16 to 45, so they're all good
Yeah,
unless you
they're
roll
all
a
good.
1.
Tarn. I would have giggled if that one over there. Yeah, and I don't have to roll for my mother because she's not on my chart anymore.
Correct.
She remarried someone else.
Yep.
And that's everyone on my family chart.
All right, let's go to Rev's family tree, or family
Woohoo.
thing. He's got a handful of people. Holy shit. All right, going off of my notes, we are going to do a lot of 1 to 15-year-olds first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 D20, please. And they are all good. Your female 16 to 45 age is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Numbers we're looking for here is 3 to 13 is safe and 14 plus birth. So 5d20. 1 birth. Roll.
Isn't there a plus on survival for living richly?
For children, yes.
Oh, okay.
These are considered adults. So do me a favor, roll 1d6, and I'm going to subtract 1 and use that as a number to figure out who it is. But one of these ladies is pregnant. Alright. And that lady is your sister Arian, who is married to Sir Amrin.
Do I roll separately for my wife, or is she included in that?
She's included in that.
Okay.
Um,
I think I'd like to roll separately for my wife, just for the suspense. Known.
if you want.
I mean, it is what it is this time. I just
Okay, you're gonna let it stand as is?
yeah. I'm
Okay.
saying like in the future, I'd like to just make a note that I'd like to roll separately for my wife.
Gotcha. I need another 1 die anything. Even is for a boy and odd is for a girl. You have a girl. Your sister, Arian, has delivered a baby girl.
Another female in the family.
Yeah, hooray! On this next group, for the men, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7, but it's actually 6 because Seth should not be in this group. Okay. Actually, I gotta cut that out now. Delete. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 6. We are looking for anything higher than a 2. So 60-20, please.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Sorry, zoned out for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long day.
No, I hear you. Uh-oh. Double checking. Nope, you're good.
All right.
And that is it for your family rolls.
Yay.
Okay, let's move on to the next step. Step 6 is undergoing training and practice. This is the one where you get to choose either 1d6 plus 1 skill points up to 15, 1 point in a skill up to 20, or 1 attribute, trait, or passion up to either racial maximums 19 for traits or 20 for passions. Also note, NPCs such as squires, wives, stewards, etc. receive 1d3 points to distribute amongst their skills. So the first part is what you individually are going to do for your own skill, attribute, or traits or passion improvements. Starting with Everhart.
So I'm trying to remember where I left off with something. Hold on. You want to go ahead, move ahead to?
Yeah, I can go to Sir Dallin.
Okay, so 16s for every attribute, or excuse me, every passion and trait above 16 gets me the equivalent in points, right?
Yep, as well as working towards chivalry bonus and religious bonus.
Yeah, I'm not close to either of those. So I have a 16 prudent, a 16 valorous, a 16 fealty lord, and a 16 honor. So I have 4 of those this year instead of 3.
Did you just raise one up? or or is that just where you're at right now?
Oh, that's where I'm at right now. I remember, I think it was a couple sessions back. One of my passions got bumped a
Okay.
point
Yeah, that sounds right. I think you may have succeeded on a
because
passion roll.
back last winter I got a 16 for prudent, honor, and fealty wards. So actually, no, I got a 16 in valorous.
I hate I hate to be that guy, but as I was checking some things, um, I've zoomed in. I zoomed in quite a bit on my character sheet, and I have a check mark on generous too. Do you want me to just throw down a d20 for that, or just uncheck it?
Go ahead and roll that for now. I feel like you would have been. I don't remember exactly what, but I remember something happening and you being generous. I just don't remember what it was. I feel like that did not raise it though.
Yeah. Nope.
All right. So Rodance, what do you want to do? You want to do 1d6 plus 1 skill points, or do you want to do 1 point for 1 skill, attribute, trait, or passion?
Give me just a moment. I'm typing.
Mm-hmm.
So prudent, valorous, loyalty, lord, honor. I'm writing my notes.
Mm-hmm. Talus, do you know what you want to do?
Sorry, in terms of what?
As far as improving your character, whether you want to increase 1d6 plus 1 skill points to be applied to any skills at 15 or lower, gain 1 point in a skill up to 20, or 1 point in attribute, trait, or passion.
I was gonna just.
Oh wait,
increase-
oh wait,
Oh,
sorry.
we still have to roll family events.
I do those. So just for the record, family events, I do those to start the calendar year as
Okay.
little, almost mini roleplay sessions prior to the feast.
Okay, yes.
So I was gonna increase my dex back up to 12 because I lost a point.
Okay. All right, go ahead and update that, and that will be you. And then also you get 1d3 points for any of your NPC skills, specifically in our case, mostly for stewards or the people that are stewarding lands. So you get 1d3 points for each one of them.
1d3.
Yeah, so 1d6, and then whatever you roll, divide it by 2, round up.
Okay, hold on. Nope, that's not it.
Yeah, that was a 20. So whoever you just rolled there has. How did you get 2 to roll that, or did you just double click it?
No. I did 1d. I mean, I'll take the 6, but I did 1d20 for the first roll.
Oh, the 6 was on the 20. Got it. Okay, yeah.
Which is
No,
ironic because it has a lower chance than. Yeah, whatever.
that's fine. That's just 1 point for whoever that was
Um,
rolling, whoever you were just rolling for. You can use your family tracker spreadsheet to figure out who you need to roll for. Also for your squire.
I get 3 skill points this year. Yay.
And a 2. Oh yeah, 1d6 plus 1. Yep.
Now to confirm, you said if its skill points are under, you
Yeah.
get to roll a d6, and if it's over that, you just get to add a +1.
Correct. And only one.
What was the threshold?
For skills, it's 20. For traits, it's 19. Passions, it's 20.
No. You were saying if it's under a certain amount, you can roll a d6.
Yeah. 1d6 plus 1 to be applied to any skill that's 15 or less. And it's not. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Let me get my brain to work right. It's 1d6 plus 1 points to be applied in any combination to skills that are 15 or less.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna forego. I was thinking about putting a point into strength, but I think I'm gonna forego that this time for the 1d6 on
Okay.
skills. 1d6 plus 1, you said.
Yes.
Okay.
And then 1d3 for NPCs. Specifically, in our case, stewards.
Am I missing something
Nice.
for the stewards? Because I'm looking at my Marvel family tracker, right?
Uh-huh. It'll be on your
And-
the manners tab.
Now that means we can only raise it to 15.
Oh.
What was your question, Rev?
So let's say that I have a skill at 13.
Yes.
I can only raise it to 15
Correct.
under this roll. Okay.
Yep. So that would only be 2 points, but then you would have the other 4 that you could use elsewhere.
So I got 6.
I believe I'm just checking this. Rodance, you're good on your character. You just have to roll for all your NPCs and whatnot.
Yeah, you'll have to explain to me what exactly I'm rolling real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a little lost as well. I rolled for.
Am I rolling their like stewardship skills for all of my stewards?
No, well, what you're doing is you get 1d3 points to be used on each of your NPCs to increase their skills as you see fit. So, for instance, typically, for us, this is mostly going to apply to a stewardship skill. But like your squire, you may want to increase one of his stats or her stats, as the case may be. But otherwise, it's 1d3 points per NPC.
Well, I already have 2 NPCs with a skill of 15 and a skill of 16. So, can I bump them at all?
Off the
NPC?
top of my head, let me double check this, but I don't think the book indicates limitations for NPCs. I mean, I'm not saying you can have an NPC with like 27 stewardship, but like it doesn't specify that. I don't believe.
Okay.
Let's see. Non-player characters, including squires, wives, stewards, and other player-controlled NPCs, receive 1d3 points to distribute among any skills, and that's literally the end of the statement. So I think what we can do is we can just assume that any skill can be capped ultimately at 20, especially for NPCs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Excuse me.
And then I'm taking a look at my steward skill for my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for Adwin, I have hers at 17, right? That
Mhm.
one that I just rolled for.
Yeah.
Should I just add? I'm assuming
You would just add it to the 18 or to 17, and now when you go into winter
Okay.
phase next year, she'll have a stewardship of 18. And
Jesus
make sure you
Christ.
update on the tracker because I'm not gonna remember this in 2 or 3
no,
weeks
I
when we
did.
get back to
Fargo
here again.
Family Tracker. It's shared with everyone else as well.
Yep.
The second question I had was, it's still whip for my thing. Work in
Yeah, they all
progress,
say
right?
manners work in progress because at the time
Okay.
it was when I named that tab. I just haven't changed it, and I may still make changes to account for. If you recall, I've said this a couple of times in the past where I wanted to include manorial improvements, which is part of the reason why I wanted to see how the Libram system worked out, especially with the extra manners. Because ultimately, I want you guys to be able to build extra things for your manners that can give you additional bonuses and benefits.
Yeah.
I just haven't gone through the books to figure out how I'm going to do that yet.
And then next was, I don't have anyone. It's not here written, unless I'm looking at an older version, I guess, or something. It doesn't tell me who. Because we put people in command of the home manners and stuff, right? But it's not showing up for me.
I have okay, so you don't have
I don't have the most recent.
okay, so the
I
tracker
guess.
so what I have is here, let me Vitamar cuz he wasn't married. Okay, I'm going to save your sheet and I'm going to update yours in the drive real quick.
Okay.
So give me just a moment.
That's why I was confused earlier, because
It's
you had
entirely
me, like,
possible you had an older one and I just haven't given you a newer one or something.
Files in owner's
So for my NPCs, do they just get 1d3 or is it 1d3 plus 1?
1d3.
Okay. So my squire got 3 skill points.
Oh, now I don't see anything. Oh, never mind.
I deleted the old one and just saved the one that I currently have.
So are we tracking? I thought we weren't tracking square skill points. I thought we were just using flat numbers with that.
You start with the flat numbers and then increase them, and then by the time they become knights, we'll use their skills as that. I don't know
Okay.
why. I don't know why I said night nights, but anyway,
We're in 488, right?
we're
It's a
going
re-
into yeah.
You said night nights because it's a reference to what happened to Farvel's character.
Maybe.
488.
Yeah, we're going into 488. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just updating that because that
Yep.
changed.
So
and
here's
then
my D3 for my wife.
Nice.
Now this is 18. And I have to roll a 1d6 for everyone else here for the stewardship, essentially, right?
It's 1d6 divided by 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And I realized for
So,
your steward
yeah.
characters, the only skill we're really tracking with them is stewardship. But if there was another skill you wanted to track for any reason, then these points can be applied to that as well.
I guess so. Does this apply to Sir Vidamar as well? Since he's
No,
still
Vidamar is
stewarding, or
Vidamar is now a player character, so that does not apply.
Right.
Actually, on your specific sheet, because I know what you're talking about, because it still has Farvel listed as the Lord of Winterborn Gunnet, you're going to need to change that, and we're going to have to figure out what you want to do as far as the stewardship of Bendis Runasport, whatever the
But
hell.
yeah, that's gonna have to change by next winter phase, right?
Yeah, it will have to be addressed by then at some point, whether we do role play or something between now and then, or at next winter phase, we're gonna have to throw a name in there, or you don't get anything for that town.
It makes sense that it still counts for him because he would have spent like
Yeah.
up until almost winter doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm rolling for Osgood as well, right?
Uh-huh.
Osgood as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sorry, I was...
1.5 round up.
Yep, always round up on these, on the 1d6 divided by 2.
So, Osgood now has 17.
I think I had noted that as far as the extra glory, I'm pretty sure my notes, I just was doing the math, that I spent like 15 Libram this year.
Sounds about right. I mean, I can't think of any particular reason why I would argue that. Because I believe you could spend up to 6 or something like that for the feast and, buying clothes and jewelry and all that. And then knowing your characters, you've probably dropped some money here or there for something else.
My understanding, it was the feast and gifts.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, because we did do gifts this year, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you guys are all caught up on that part. The next step will be the glory stage, so take your time, because we'll be taking our time with the glory too. And unfortunately, I do not have any notes saved as to any particular glory number, so I'm really hoping you guys held them all.
I got notes.
Am I the only one who wrote specific notes for every session on every number I got?
I may
do
have
that
at some
as a
point,
rule.
but I don't always. And I was just thinking about this earlier. I might actually be able to find it, but I'd have to dig through a couple of different documents.
Depends. I got notes for things, but
Well, the other thing too is Vidamar is not getting a whole lot of glory.
no.
'Cause he stayed at home all year.
I have his glory from far, like he not inherited, but
Well, he
had-
did effectively.
Well,
Essentially, he inherited.
We still need to calculate what glory we get from our manors,
Yes.
because we didn't get that last year.
Yes. Yeah, you did. You should have gotten 10 last year.
Oh, let me check.
No, you guys were already married by that winter phase, huh?
No, I didn't get it because I got 168 for starting, 3 sets of 16, marriage adjustment, knighted adjustment, royal feast, geniality. Oh, 50 for lordship of manor. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, because you get 50 for when you first pick up your home, and then it's 10 for every year after that. And then it's basically, effectively, it becomes you get an amount of glory equal to the amount of money you earn. So you'll get, like this year, you'll get 10 for your home, and then you get 1 or 2, as the case may be, or 0, actually, whatever the glory you got from your additional manors. I mean, Libram.
So I got
Hold that thought. I want to make sure everybody's done on skills for both their players or their characters and their NPCs. Is everybody caught up and everybody good to go?
I haven't done my squire. I don't know what else. I'm just looking. I don't know what else I would need to roll on.
Oh, yeah, because for you, it would just be for your wife, and that would effectively be it, unless you've got other NPCs you want to work on. because you only have the one manner.
Yeah.
Not trying to rub
so,
it in. I'm just.
So what is our Squire's base stats? I don't actually have any notes on my Squire's stats.
I can tell you.
Yeah, thank you.
Your Squire's base first aid is 6. Your Squire's base battle is 1. Your Squire's base horsemanship is 6. And then you have one other skill of your choice, base 5. My Squire, I personally gave flirting to because I thought that was funny.
Especially
think
with her
mine
lust.
I think mine was
Hunting
axes.
is a good option, stuff like that. Yeah, I think you would have given yours axes.
Well, no, because you were talking about, do you like that was actually a thing. Like, how do you feel about axes? You know?
Hmm. Look, I think giving mine flirting is hilarious because my character is all courtesy intrigue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is funny.
It tracks.
Yep. Talus, are you good on skills?
Yep, I accounted for all the Lord PC, the manners specifically.
Okay.
I don't think I was missing anything else.
I
And
think I'm gonna give my Squire some extra first aid.
that checks out after how this year went.
No, that's the one thing I was forgetting.
Oh, you know the other thing we gotta look at too. Um, hold on to your Squire skills, Talus,
Okay.
because we're going to address that. This may end up being the last thing we do tonight. After we finish up winter phase, we will determine the Squire for Sir Vitamar. We can do a little scene of that.
All right.
Because you remember our conversation when we created Vitamar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I want you to think about those things, and I will portray your Squire probably stammering his way through answers. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We're definitely not going to make it to the feast
You
tonight.
mean Sir Norris of Winterbourne, the Castle Vagon Wardship Squire?
What?
Did you not write down all the squires that we got back in session 6 to choose from? 'Cause-
You know that was like 2 months ago, right? I have the document.
Okay, I have it in my OneNote, and it's literally a single click, and I can pull it right up.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for showing off.
There is a squire assigned to Roderick. One was assigned to Lady
Yes.
Farvel, one was assigned to Everhart. One was assigned to Gareth. One was assigned to me, and the 6th one was sent to Castle Vagon Wardship.
Yep.
That sounds like they're gonna turn into a vampire. They were sent to Castle Vagon.
It does
Yes,
actually.
that particular one was Sonaris of Winterbourne, female, elegant, brawny physique, sleek eyes, Christian but not religious.
Yes, I recall that. I forget what Farvel's Squire's name is. I'm sure you can OneNote click that too.
Olin of Pitton,
Yep.
female,
See,
Christian,
I knew
but
it.
not very cheery, willowy physique, bright eyes, curly red hair.
That's amusing that you have all the notes, but I do remember giving everybody the notes. Anyway, no, we have when Talus and I created Sir Vitamar, we kind of danced around the topic of squires, and I want to see how he wants to. I want to see how his character plays on the idea of whether or not he's going to keep his squire or if he's going to go apply for a new one. I don't know why I said apply, but you get the idea.
This one's defective.
Yeah. I don't like this car. Can I have a new one? I'd like to apply for ownership of another car. All right. Is everybody caught up on skills? I believe the only person we were waiting on was Talus, but I might be wrong.
No, I'm good.
I
You're
don't know
good?
of any other skills that I have to roll for other people aside from my Squire and my.
And stewardship.
Yeah, that, I mean,
I
at this.
have magically appearing chocolate chip cookies!
Oh
What?
my God.
I have a roommate. She
Oh.
magically makes chocolate chip cookies, and it's amazing.
There's a
Okay.
small part of me
She
that
just
is
brought me
jealous.
a plate with fresh warm ones.
Nice.
Nice.
This is the best time for chocolate chip cookies too. It's right after they come out of the
Yes.
oven. Okay. Our final stage for winter phase is glory, and ultimately, if you cross the 1,000 point threshold, you get the bonus point that you can apply to attributes, traits, skills, passions, combat skills, etc., etc. So add up all of your glory from play. Again, it would take me some time to put all these notes together that I have not taken and do not want to take at this time. So I'm really hoping you guys kept good notes, specifically Rev and Rodance. I know Rodance did.
So for manor honor, is it 10 honor per Librum generated?
You mean glory, but yes.
Or
Oh, no,
10
no,
glory
no.
per
I'm
Librum
sorry. I'm sorry.
generated?
I misspoke. So for your manners, you get 10 for your starting manner. And then you get
Okay.
1 glory for each Librum earned from additional manners.
So, do I lose glory for having one that fumbled?
Technically, yes, but it. So how
For
much?
me, it nets out to being positive, but
Yeah,
it
like
matters.
so you get. I mean, you get one glory. Jesus Christ, one glory for each Libram earned. In my head, I'm just adding up. Like if I had 4 or 5 manners and I got three Libram from it, then that's 3 glory I got from managing those manners. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm
I,
cool with that. So that means I get 13 on glory for my uh
from your
6 manners.
managing your property. Damn it.
Mhm.
You get. Don't forget your glory for money that you spent in the previous year, including the feast and any generous donations that you've made for this, that, or the other. Rev, in particular, you dropped 2 for the funeral, and I believe you dropped something. Oh, Christmas gifts. That's what it was.
So 4 to live richly, 2 on the funeral. So that's I dropped. My brain just went for a second. So
Mhm.
13.
Sounds about right.
I gained 15 if I'm doing my math correctly. You said 10 for the main one, right? And
Yep.
then
And then 1 for every Libram you've pulled from your additional manners.
yeah, okay.
So for each Libram you spend, is it 10 glory or 1 glory? I'm sorry.
It's
The additional ones are just 1.
no. He's talking about how much
Oh.
glory you get from spending money.
Oh,
You get
yeah.
it's 10 glory for every Libram up to 100.
Okay.
Up to 100. Fuck.
Up to 100 glory.
Yeah, I want to say it's 100 glory. So
Okay, so I hit 100 glory for sure.
Does
Yeah.
spending on gifts count towards that a number?
yes. And if you guys remember at the beginning of the year, you bought Christmas gifts for everybody.
Do we get any above 100, or does it just flat cap at 100?
Once you hit 100 glory at the 10 to 1, it basically reverses. You get one glory for every 10 Libra.
Okay. All right. So I didn't hit more than that.
So if you were at 110, you'd actually get like. I'm not. No. My brain started swimming. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing all that math in my head right now. The book has an example.
Right.
I tried
I'm
remembering
trying to-
it.
I've got some rough notes in the battle, but it almost looks like my because I know I took notes on the first few days, but some of my notes don't seem to be intact as I remember them, so I don't know what happened there. But I know. So the first battle was. I think I have all of the glory calculated up until
The big one at the end.
up until the river fight and the one after. And I'm pretty sure I had like 6 or 8 dead Saxons.
You definitely had like 6 or 8. Let me see if this document has it. Let's see.
Well, I know one way that I can check is I can go to your last uploaded video and go right to the end, because I've got a pile of
Yeah.
Saxons in front of me.
Yeah. I'm looking right now to see. I know I would have written in there what the battles would have been worth. I'm just trying to find it. Excuse me.
I'm trying to get to that video. I thought I had it bookmarked.
Okay, this is what I have for the battles. I don't have specific numbers for individual kills.
Okay.
So you guys, or excuse me, Rev, because Talos' character is dead, so it
I
doesn't
only
matter.
killed 2 people in the last battle.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have mattered either way because you died.
Oh yeah.
And we've already accounted for what Farvel had
yeah.
as far as inheriting to or going to Vidmar. So for Everheart, you got 10 points. Here, let me add this up real quick. 10 is 30, 60, 90. It would have been 120 for all of the battles. So it'd be 120 plus 5. 120 plus. Jesus Christ. Sorry, brain is trying to go all over at once. 120 total for all of the battles, plus 20 for each Saxon you killed along the way.
Okay, so plus 20 times X. All right. So I know I killed on the first session of fighting.
You killed
there was
2 in episode 10. I have that written down in here.
Okay. So, give me a second to look up the video evidence. 'Cause I don't
We
want to
can
lie.
we can assume that it's 6 additional because there was like you both
Okay.
had at least 2 3-on-1 fights or 2-on-1 fights I should say plus the final. I'm pretty sure it was 2 plus 1 or something like that. I don't know. 6 feels like a fairly safe number for the number of Saxons you killed prior to being defeated by the Thane. So I think that gives you something like 240, 250, something like that.
I just want to double. I like to be sure. Give me just
Yep.
2 seconds.
Yep. Also, for the others, don't forget anything that 16 or higher, you get that value and glory for your traits or passions. Ooh, excuse me.
So looking at the end of it, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, nope, that checks. I thought it was 6, but I could have been wrong. You might have killed 10 Saxons, you Saxon killing machine.
Wait a minute, I may have double counted one. Hold on.
That may have
'Cause I'm-
that would have also. By the way, I'm pretty sure that would have been a total for all of the rating, not just episode 11, because I remember saving the table at the end of episode 10 to save it to start episode 11.
Oh, okay. So yeah, all right. So 8 total, which would make the plus 2. That makes sense. So back to my notes. I don't know what I could have swore that I had all of that notated because I try to keep up with that, and so I'm a little confused.
It happens.
I must have been hurting.
You might have been. I don't remember now. It was also like 3 weeks ago, so don't ask me to remember a lot. But you killing 8 Saxons throughout all of that rating that checks out. I feel like that's a fairly accurate number.
So I've got 120 plus 160 for a total of
280.
280 for the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then plus 10 for the manor, plus 100 for the spending, plus 300 I've got for the winter feast. That's gonna be nice 690. 69 0.
No 69 for you.
I probably lost honor for that.
Yeah, you did.
Let's see.
While he's adding that up, Rodance, do you have your final glory tally going into 488 by chance?
I made 462 glory this year.
Nice. What's that take you up to for your grand total?
Let me actually total it up because I was just finished with that number.
Okay.
Plus my current
Talus,
standing glory, 3130.
That takes you up to 3130 grand total.
Yes.
And did you cross 3,000 tonight? I think you did.
Yes, I did, but the problem is I marked skill points back when we did it before for 5,000 because of the mix up with the marriage numbers. So I effectively already got my bonus point for 3K, 4K, and 5K. So I can't add that.
Didn't we?
I didn't know what to remove. I think we popped one off, but I don't remember getting the others.
I feel like we did something to try to compensate for that. I think I told you to choose, I don't know, like 3 things to reduce 3 things by like 1 point. Any 3 things. It didn't matter what it was. I feel like that's something I would have done.
Oh yeah, because the start of session 9 is where I have a note for corrected glory, but I didn't say what I did.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure we did that too. So
Okay.
what I'm feeling is at this point your bonus point for crossing 1,000 is still applicable. So go ahead and apply that now.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I remember when we made when I realized that mistake, that very next session I was like, hey, we goofed. You should have only gone up to this. Reduce anything by this amount in order to counter for those extra points that you had.
Yeah. We can add it as a point to a passion, right?
Yes.
Cool. I'm bumping up my passion for love family.
Nice. Now next year is when you can apply that new value for your glory
Yes.
computations.
I feel like with the amount of work I'm about to do for my house knight and my bastard brother, that would definitely count.
Oh yeah, absolutely, makes perfect sense.
Also,
Talus. Oh
there's
nope,
Yeah.
nope. Go ahead, Rodance.
one last thing.
Yep.
I need to do marriage checks for both of my people, and I feel like I should get a little bit better one for my brother because will be looking for it all year for him already, and
Okay.
I will be just starting the marriage search for my other house knight.
Okay. Go ahead and make your courtesy roll and use your courtesy, I guess.
My 15 courtesy for my two little people who have none, you mean? Or excuse me, cough cough 3 because that's the default value.
Yeah, I realize I'm giving a little bit here, but you're the one doing all the legwork, other than getting the Lord's or the Earl's permission. And while you're
Yeah, I'm
rolling
double
that,
checking the stats sheet, and no, my peeps do not have a listed amount for courtesy for. Dude is amazing religion and lance.
in
Holy
that case, he probably
shite.
has he probably would have the default value of 3. Talus, I know you didn't have a whole lot of glory to add up. Can you give me your grand total, what you'd be adding to your previous store moving into the year 488, please?
Just 15. I wouldn't be gaining anything else for Vitamars. So it would be 1466.
Okay, 1466 grand total moving into the new year.
Yep.
That checks out because I think you're at like 1451 or something like that.
Yeah, 1451.
And then Rev, what are we looking at? That looks like a success.
I'm bumped to 3,797.
3,000. Say that one more time.
797.
797. All right. You were already in the 3,000s, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't get a bonus point this year.
I was just over 3,000.
Yep.
Or a little over 3,000.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that will do that. And then you rolled a 1 on that courtesy. What's the 13 for?
Oh,
Rodance.
I have two people I need to search
Okay.
marriage partners for.
And so
my,
they both got.
brother Medwin and for my house knight, Index house knight Emlyn.
Okay. So you got. So basically, what that will do is that will give them both a +1 on rolling for the random wife table, 5.4, I think you said it was.
Yes.
Do you want to roll on that now, or do you want to wait another year?
I would like to have the brief discussion because, frankly, Amlin is 28 this year and Medwin is 29, and I don't know how we feel about because you start rolling old age at 35.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they would rather get married sooner than later, so they still have healthy years with their children.
Sure. So you want to roll on that table now?
Yeah, I'll roll my brother. Give me just a moment. I just accidentally closed it out on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just looking at the table. Okay, scroll.
To fill some dead air, if you liked my alliteration, wait till the Solasta ad read.
Let's just wait to see if Solasta happens because of the way things have been going lately. Jesus Christ, man. So last week we had that traffic accident that shut down the highway. And then the very next day I had a flat on my tire that almost caused me to cancel Second Star for last Wednesday. Friday I didn't get home again until I got home pretty late Friday. It was like 6:30. It was just one of those days, like it was a super heavy day. I could not keep my momentum going at work, so I just fell behind constantly. And then yesterday, was that accident yesterday morning that even at the end of the day was still had the highway backed up for hours.
Can I make a suggestion?
Work from home?
Earlier.
I do try to. Oh my god. Fuck off, Rev. That's all I can say to that. I can't figure out anything else to say but just tell you to fuck off. All right, how we looking, Rodance? You ready?
Random marriage table check number 1, which is for Medwin.
All right.
He gets +1 to this check.
Correct. 1d20, please. He gets a 10.
10?
That makes him.
10 is daughter of household knight.
Yep.
I mean,
So
that's not bad because he's technically a household right now.
yeah, he's a house
So
knight. So marrying a house
that's like
knight's daughter
that's
is
reasonable, similar
yeah.
level.
So we just need a name for that individual.
Yeah, give me a moment. I'll generate that in a moment. Am I required? I'm tracking their wives too, so I'll be doing that here in a moment.
Yep.
And then I'm rolling for my other one, which is Amwin.
Also a
And,
+1.
Yep.
16, 17. Ooh, Amlin.
That's pretty decent.
Daughter of a vassal knight.
Okay, so
that's like a step up. Went from a daughter of a house knight to the daughter of a vassal knight.
let me write my notes in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So Medwin, I kind of obviously that makes sense because Medwin would have harder chance because he is a bastard child.
Yeah. There's some social stigma towards illegitimate children, and he hasn't been legitimized yet either. So
I don't think I'm allowed to do that personally. Otherwise,
You
I would have
can't.
did that already.
you can't. I think that, and in fact, without looking up the customs about such things, I'm wondering now if the Earl can even do that. I think you might actually have to go to King Uther.
Okay.
Definitely
so
the King can, if the Earl
I
can't.
need to roll a d6 for daughter number for both of them.
I could be totally wrong, and given the nature of the fictitious nature of the game, but normally that would kind of fall to the
First
church
daughter.
to declare
Yeah,
something like
Sixth
that.
daughter.
that could also be definitely something that the church would be involved in to some degree. So
Hey, Medwin getting a first daughter of a household knight's pretty decent.
yeah,
Amwin just got the sixth
I feel
daughter
like
of a vassal knight.
I feel like Medwin probably
Oh god.
managed to get somebody in his debt, and not in like any sort of malicious sort of way, but like did a really cool thing for somebody and said, you know what, you're actually not a half bad guy, despite the fact that you're illegitimate.
Yeah.
Why don't you marry my oldest daughter?
Daughter of vassal knight lady. I have to determine the number of brothers she has.
Oh Jesus,
Give me
do you really?
Oh god, I have to generate fucking brothers for her.
Yep, 1d6 number of brothers.
Brothers of another mother?
3. I now have to add 3 male characters to
Well,
tracking.
so you're not going to track all of these other people. It's just in case, like, I'm not going to have you track that much unless you really want to, because that's going to be a headache for both of us.
Well,
Sudden
two,
influx
Female
of like
name
10,
generator.
sudden influx of
brothers-
10 or 12 people.
The brothers wouldn't fall in your family
No.
per se either.
Oh yeah, so
These would be sons of vassal knights who would be, becoming
Yeah,
squires
they
soon
would
and
just-
stuff. They would end up becoming knights of their own family, and then the daughters potentially would be getting married off to other knights or whomever, or becoming handmaidens or what have you. All right.
Okay, so Medwin marries Burnett. First, I'll need to generate an age for her too.
Just do 16 plus 1d6. We'll keep it simple.
Okay.
For both of them. Wow, Winterphase took a lot longer than I thought it would.
18.
I keep forgetting how long Winterphase can take. I think that's part of the
Yeah, I was
problem.
gonna say I thought it was about time to wrap up the session.
It damn near is. So we're gonna do, once we finish this last little bit of naming stuff up with
I'm unfortunately going to have to generate stewardship skills for them.
go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 6 for them too.
Okay, so.
Well, did you come up with a name for Amlin's wife?
Oh, give me just a.
Am I going too fast?
I have it. I'm just spamming the generator till I see one I like. Some of them have a lot of weird vowels in it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this one is funny. It's just Lit. L-I-L-T. That amuses me. Her
Yeah.
name is now Lit.
Yep. Clearly, it's short for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Okay, so Burnett's score is damn 15.
Nice.
I'm
Somebody
really
taught
proud
her.
of my brother at this point.
Somebody taught her very well on how to be a steward. What was the name for Amlin? Or are you actually going with Lit?
I'm legit going with lit because of what's his name.
And what is Lit stewardship?
I'm
2d6
rolling
plus
that
6 as
now.
well. It's 12.
12. That's still not bad.
It's still respectable.
better.
Okay. Alrighty. Make sure you guys have updated your family tracker sheets and uploaded them onto, as well as your character sheets for that matter, onto the share drive. Sir Vitamar, our final scene from tonight. It'll be a relatively quick one. Sir Vitamar, this takes place probably with somewhere between when Sir Farvel's body is brought back to Winterborn Gunnet and before the actual funeral / memorial service, whatever it ends up being. What was your squire's name again? Olwyn?
Yeah, all in.
I know I have it on here. Let me see. Actually, I don't think I put your squire on here. What was it again? Olwyn?
It should have been all in.
Okay. Well, whatever it is. His Farvel squire approaches Sir Vitamar. He is carrying a sword. A sword that is still a bit bloody, maybe even chipped on one of the blades. Or not chipped, but, notched or something. And the squire kneels before Sir Vitamar. Oh, hey, thanks for the sub. The squire kneels before Sir Vitamar, and he hands up this well-used, almost one could argue, damaged sword, and says, "My lord, with condolences and my deepest apologies that I was not able to save your nephew, I present you his sword, and I wish to join your service to continue to serve the family of my former master."
I go with
Got him thinking. Picture this, probably like 17 years old or almost 17, kneeling on one knee with a sword uplifted, with held in both of his
No,
hands.
I'm aware, and he's still looking down on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, he's looking down. He's being totally subservient and respectful, or at least he thinks he is.
Fuck it. I say thank you for your condolences. Grab the sword and ask for its sheath. Yeah, I'm assuming he has the sheath.
Yeah, I imagine he would have it. And Olwyn, I don't know if it's quite his name. Anyway, whatever his name is, Olwyn. He remains kneeling. He pulls the sheath from the side, like he had one on his sword. Excuse me, on his sword belt, and he unhooks it. Presents the shield, or excuse me, the scabbard.
However, I tell him that there is a condition if he wants to serve underneath me.
My lord, I am yours to
You
command.
you must stop learning to use the bow. He will spend the entire next coming summer training with a sword and nothing else.
As you wish, my lord. I will not use the bow except for hunting.
All right.
Oh, that's so sad but funny.
And at that, the squire will assume that he can rise. And when he stands up, he still is, he has his head bowed, his hands clasped in front of him, and he says, "With your permission, my lord, I would like to assist the priest in preparing your nephew's body for the service." Or,
That sounds
whatever
like
it
a
is that,
honest intent. Yeah.
yeah, whatever it is they're going to do with the body at this point. What'd you say?
I tell him to go on, and that we'll talk later about Farvel's essential like adventures and stuff with him.
Ooh, he might be lucky enough to toss back some beer. Nice. All right. So Olwyn will continue in service under Sir Vitamar, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. I thought that was a pretty cool little way to close the scene there. I know tonight's session was pretty damn boring for most viewers, but some people enjoy the spreadsheet phase of Pendragon. I feel like it's a really fun time to dig into the mechanics and the nuts and bolts of what makes a character a character. People get the chance to talk about how they want to develop their character and what direction they want to go, and then, during the campaign season of the following year, they lose their character. So drama all around. And then we had a little bit of drama with almost losing a newborn or a very young toddler, but then reroll tokens and shit. Let's start with let me see. Our new order should be pretty obvious. We're gonna have Sir Everhart in the lead with his glory total of almost 4,000, just under 3,800, and then we have Sir Dallin at just over 3,000, and we have Sir Vitamar at 1,400 and some change. Let's start with Sir Everhart. What do you got for us? Closing thoughts, please.
It's been a heck of a ride, but I'm bowing out. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Wow. It's because I told you to fuck off, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I was being literal. No, it's been fun. Who doesn't love a good spreadsheet session? And I've got to figure out why my dice are cursed. I've never heard of a digital dice curse before, but I seem to have one.
It's RNGesus gives, RNGesus takes, man.
I have not had a single critical on a roll that mattered.
Well, maybe just don't put too much mental stock into it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
The only critical I've gotten in the campaign have both been for rolls where I could not put a check mark by something.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think, I got a critical on appearance. Too bad I can't check that. I remember that. It was for the feast, either this Christmas feast or the feast before. I don't remember which now.
And then there was another one I rolled crit on. It's like, hey, that doesn't matter for anything. And I'm like, oh.
I remember that. Anything else? I'm going to go with no. Sir Dallin, as played by Rodance. What do you got for us? Closing thoughts, please.
I'm gonna need to teach the rest of you how to take notes, man.
Actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a skill to take them in as you're going, but once you figure it out, it actually makes your life so much easier.
Yeah. I cannot disagree with that statement, although I'm almost as bad as the rest of you at taking notes in session, as it were. Anything else?
I'm not taking notes for the rest of you. You're SOL.
That's pretty much my stance. That's why you don't. I do want to do a little bit better of tracking of glory notes, just to make sure that we're all on the same page.
I'm just really confused what happened to my notes from last session, because I was 90% sure I took them, and they're just not there now.
Yeah, sometimes things happen. That's all I can say. All right. Lastly, we have Sir Vitamar, as played by my oldest son, Talus. Closing thoughts, please, sir.
Notes bad. Sleep, yes. Cereal gone.
Oh, wow. What a closeout. What a closeout. All right, my friends. I am Omar Krieg. I manage this travesty, sometimes enjoyable role-playing experience. And by travesty, I mean mostly Rev's preponderance for alliteration and really bad jokes. Other than that, thanks for thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around, stopping by, all that crazy stuff. We should be back again next week. Yes, everybody should be saying yes at this point. Yes, everybody saying yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, good. I got one yes, so I'll go with that. Yep. Pending, of course, traffic situations and other things I can't control. We should be here again next week for episode 13.
Excuses.
Yeah, man. You're an excuses. Yeah, you're an excuse.
Have you looked into Uber?
Okay. God damn it. Fuck, man. All right. I'm going to get us out of here. All right. Yeah. Jesus, my throat is done. You can hear it. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. You guys be safe out there.
No.
We'll see you again next week. Have a good one, guys.
Why can't I flip the